All right, how is it going, everybody? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you to the Way of the Wolf. I am once again not recording in the studio, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why. The focus of the show today is going to be on adapting, building up, and working with the team, and moving on. These are just some thoughts that I've had as I was driving down here to Corpus Christi. And as you can see, I found this beautiful spot to record at. You can probably hear some of the birds in the background. I had to get on the back side of this break so that the wind wouldn't mess up the audio quality. The lighting isn't perfect, but here we go. We're gonna go ahead and dive into this. Another thing you probably noticed is it's just me. I don't have a guest. Initially had scheduled to do a recording with a guest. Something came up, he wasn't able to make it. So we ended up having to adapt and reschedule, and now I'm shooting this. I used to struggle a lot with having to adapt because I'm such a creature of habit, very structured and methodical, all aspects of my life. And I've come to realize that you just can't control everything in life, especially whenever it starts to involve other people and their lives and their schedules. And you know what? That's okay. It's not crucial that we have total and absolute control over every aspect of our lives. Another thing that I'm going to talk about here towards the end is just the importance of moving on. Now, one thing that I also want to jump into, as you can see, I have this very brightly colored t-shirt. I don't know if you can really see it, but I've got these bright blue shoes on as well, and I'm about to be going into the office. I always talk about dressing the part and the importance of how you present yourself, but also knowing how to dress for any given situation. The office that I'm going to today, we are having a Candyland theme gathering. And so the request was, hey, wear something bright and colorful. Now, I don't really have any suits that are overly bright and colorful. I did get a blue one recently, but for the most part, I figured this would be a good fit. It's gonna be a fun day with a little gathering, getting some people together. Whenever I think about setting up gatherings and events and parties like this, it is not a strength of mine at all. Like, I am horrible at it. But that's okay, because I have some people on my team that are incredible. They love it, they get excited, they get pumped, they get everybody involved, they come up with these great ideas. That leads me into my first talking point, which is teaming up with the right people. I've had people on my team over the years that complemented my skills very well. There was our previous director of HR, a gentleman named Jeff. Man, he was phenomenal at this type of stuff. Employee relations, building morale, having people come together, just very outgoing and bubbly and kind of like a cruise director. Just everybody wanted to be around him. That's not who I am at my core. We've all talked about me being introverted and analytical and conscientious and hyper-focused on structure and what needs to occur. That's why he and I made such an incredible team. And over the years, I've come to realize how important and crucial that is to find people on your team that complement your skills. If you have a team full of data analysts and all they do is focus on the data, okay, well, it's safe to assume that they're going to be comfortable talking through and working with data, but that is going to be the only thing that they're going to be successful at. Once you start sprinkling in people with other personality types, once you start layering in people that are outgoing and bubbly, you start opening up these doors and creating situations and a team environment that you wouldn't really expect. And I think that's the beautiful part of bringing people together. And on one of my previous shows, I talked about building a team so strong you don't know who the leader is. That's an important aspect. And as the most senior leader, you've got to be able to check your ego and say, hey, here are my strengths and weaknesses. I'm going to bring in somebody else to complement those so that the team can be successful, so that the team can accomplish that much more. You cannot see people as a threat. I can't stress that enough. You have to be able to check that ego and know, hey, this is an area that I'm not strong in, so this person over here is phenomenal at it, so I'm going to let them do it. I'm going to let them run with it. And when you do that, incredible things will start to happen on your team. Productivity will skyrocket, culture and morale will go through the roof because you're empowering people and giving them the opportunity to do the things that they love. Another thing I want to talk about is stressing about the past. Now this applies to business, family, personal relationships, hobbies, things that you enjoy doing. It really kind of applies to all aspects of life. And I've had people ask me, hey, did you make the right decision here? And admittedly, I never really gave it much thought. At least in recent years, I've gotten to where I just don't give it a whole lot of thought because I came to the realization that everything happens for a reason. Everything in life unfolds exactly as it's supposed to for us to end where we are today. Spending time stressing out or dwelling and wondering, oh God, did I make the right decision here? Oh man, I wish I would have done that differently. Oh man, like, talk about a waste of energy. Spend your time focusing on the lesson learned because you can't change it. There's nothing you can do to change it. So let it go. Just let it go. And I know some of you are probably thinking, oh, Sean, it's easy for you to say, just let it go. Well, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. I struggle with this still, myself. And I've found it helpful to focus on the things that I enjoy in life. Focus on living in the moment, in the now, and appreciating what you have and where you are at. Appreciating the lessons that you learned along the way. Sometimes those are very painful and difficult lessons, but they were lessons. I would say that our past doesn't define who we are, but we all know that our past helps shape who we are. And as long as you use those lessons to change and focus on becoming better and learn from those mistakes in the past, that's how we grow. That's how we get better. You know, I think that's all I have for all of you today. If any of you want to chat, feel free to hit me up on my social medias, _Sean Barnes. Pretty exciting, seeing some momentum picking up and growing my socials now that I'm kind of figuring out how all of that stuff works. So definitely send me a message there or shoot me an email, sean@thewayofthewolf.com. Happy to have any sort of conversations with any of you about any topic. All right, that's all I got. Y'all have a good one.